Miona said, well, hey, this is one more reason why we need to move. Hey my beautiful peeps, if you're new here, my name is Char and welcome to Char TV. For my existing subscribers, I appreciate you coming on back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a recap on episode 6 of 90 Day Fiance. It's called Have to Turn This Car Around. Before I jump into the recap, I just want to give a huge shout out to King Carpe Visuals, which is my husband. Thank you so much for the super thanks. I really appreciate that. Gotta love when your husband supports what you do. Love you. Now let's jump into the recap. I'm gonna be starting with Jibri and Miona. Miona has been living in the US for a few weeks now, but she's not really comfortable being in Jibri's parents' house. They're nice people and all, but they're really strict. Jibri left to go work on some music, so Miona is left at home. And of course she's bored. Mahala joins Miona in her room and asks her how she's been adjusting. Miona explains that it's been really difficult, especially since she's away from her parents. And her parents are also sad because she's not with them. Mahala is feeling really bad for Miona because she's having such a hard time adjusting and being in a new place. She's trying her best to ensure that Miona is comfortable living with them. Mahala decides to show Miona how to use the washing machine, and she realizes that it's a lot more simple than what she's used to in Serbia. So she's going through her clothes that need to be washed, and I think while she was doing that, Mahala was looking at them like, what are these itty bitty things?
Here is some of the... What is that? Like for your hair? No, that's a top. Oh.
I was like this.
Okay. You like it? I think it's little.
Mahala said that it was interesting to see some of the things that Miona has, because seeing her on social media, she was a bit nervous to see how she would adjust in Rapid City because people there don't really dress how Miona does. Miona said, well, hey, this is one more reason why we need to move. Mahala said that she does want them to be there because she wants them to start their journey the right way. Miona said that she will try her best to adjust, but she doesn't want to change who she is because her clothing doesn't say anything about who she is as a person. Mahala said to Miona that she seems really intelligent and worries that wearing the itty bitty clothing might take away from that. Sort of like a distraction.
I understand, but I want to express myself how I want, and I want to learn to be comfortable in my body. So what gives me confidence is owning my body and saying you to everybody who thinks that I can do whatever I want with my body.
I don't want Miona to have a negative experience.
But if she chooses not to adjust with how she dresses in their home, then that just shows a lack of respect. And why are her needs priority over everyone else's? Miona feels that she should be able to dress however she wants to and should not be judged by others. Mahala does understand and doesn't want to judge her, but she just wants that when Miona is out with Jibri, she can dress however she wants. But once inside the house, she wants her to not change her clothing, but find something in her wardrobe that's a bit more modest, especially that Brian is also there. Miona said, okay, but it doesn't really make her feel good. But it's her home and she has to respect that, which Mahala did appreciate. Miona doesn't like to be told what to do or how she should look because that makes her feel like a child. And how she's being treated is only pushing her away. It's making her want to move even more. And it's definitely something that she will be speaking to Jibri about. So the time has come for Jibri to have that conversation with his mother.
Honestly, I'm just gonna get straight to it. I'm pissed off because this is not how I expected this to go. And Miona is not feeling comfortable because you had went through her laundry, which I think is completely irrational and that's not appropriate.
So I was putting some stuff in the laundry and she was like, what kind of top is that?
Why is she doing all that?
Now Mahala feels that there's some kind of miscommunication in regards to what happened because she didn't go through Miona's laundry. Jibri said that Miona feels like Mahala is trying to turn her into someone that she's not, and Jibri said that he's not 15 years old anymore. Mahala was a little bit confused and didn't know what Jibri was talking about because when she had the conversation with Miona, she didn't seem that upset. So now she's concerned that Miona is being fake with them, and that's gonna make it hard to get to know her. Jibri is asking his mother to tone it down with the rules and asking so many questions and other things.
I'm getting married. I got 90 days. I got a lot of pressure. She wanna get married in God knows where, and that's stressing me out. Everything's stressing out, and then I'm coming back here and you treat me like I'm a 13-year-old. Talking about your laundries too, whatever. Y'all had a conversation about laundry.
So, Jibri, what are you really upset about? Because I think it's sounding more like you're upset about how you and Miona are doing right now.
Jibri said that Miona is asking a lot from him, and she is not willing to compromise. Not to mention, she only wants to be there for a month. And now, he's left wondering, well, who is telling the truth? Is it his mother or Miona? He wants his mother to also listen to him as a mother and not as a therapist, which is what she's doing right now. Mahala said that she's asking questions that are about caring about him, loving him, and wanting him to have the best life. And also wanting him to have a partner that is good for him. And it's not because she doesn't trust him. She knows that love can make you do crazy things sometimes.
I'm not sure I can support Jibri marrying Miona right now, or even in these next 90 days, because I don't know Miona yet. It makes me wonder how real she can be with people. And I want to know that Jibri knows the real Miona, because if this is a person that he's going to marry, he's got to feel confident that he knows who she is.
Jibri wants his mother to let him make the mistakes if she feels that he's making mistakes. And I can kind of understand what Jibri is saying, but at the same time, she's a parent, right? A parent wants the best for their child. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. And that is everything between Jibri and Miona. On to Eve and Mohamed. Because Eve didn't get a chance to have a bidet installed for Mohamed, she decided to call upon a plumber.
What's going on in here?
He's gonna install the bidet.
Oh,
How you doing, sir?
I'm great. Why didn't you tell me that you arrived?
I thought you were with Darren. Are you happy? We're getting the bidet installed.
Yeah, of course. But you know, baby, you can't be here alone.
I'm not alone. You're in the house.
He wanted to know why didn't she call him so that he could be with her when the plumber was present. She was like, well, I didn't know that I had to. He explained to her that in Islam, it's not right, and a man and a woman cannot be alone. Now, if he's home, she should call him so that he can be with her. Now, if he's not home and she needs something that's really important, then she should call him and he'll try to figure something out.
Well, am I allowed to be in the house if there's another man in here or not?
No, you're not allowed to.
Like, where am I supposed to go?
You should be outside.
Like outside the door? Or like out of the room, or where?
No, please distance or outside.
Is this social distancing in the bathroom or what?
Everywhere that you have a stranger in, you have to do it.
Eve is extremely annoyed because she feels like she's being scolded by Mohamed when she was just trying to do something nice for him. She's concerned because she didn't know that was a rule, and now she's wondering if she's gonna be allowed to be around strangers. And she doesn't want to live her life that way, so now she's nervous. Mohamed said that he gave up his life in Egypt to be with her, and he's made sacrifices, and she should do the same. To which she agreed.
I apparently better make a list so I just don't get in trouble or something.
Make a list? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do it.
I was kind of joking about that, actually.
Keep a list, you just...
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
I don't mind if that's going to work with you.
You have to be a little more flexible and just understand I'm not a Muslim woman.
Mohamed said that he didn't ask Eve to be Muslim, but at the same time, she's with a Muslim man. He is who he is. Eve kindly pointed out that he's in America. Eve is now realizing that she has a lot to learn about Mohamed in the next 90 days. If he's not willing to be a bit more flexible with how things are in America and tries to change her too much, then things are not going to work out. Well, these are probably discussions that y'all should have had before you entered a relationship and he moved to America. How do you feel? And that is everything between Eve and Mohamed. On to Ari and Biniyam. It's the next morning and Ari is feeling stressed because her parents mentioned that they're gonna have to pay for the apartment. She's worried if they'll be able to afford everything. BINI said, well, she thinks that it's gonna be expensive, then maybe they should take a 1-bedroom apartment instead, which is actually what Ari wanted. But her mother insisted that a 2-bedroom would be best, and she could not tell her mother no.
That's fine. Just the good thing, we have a beautiful family. Whatever, if you need help, we can ask them like something now.
Yeah.
That's what you do, like in my culture. I don't know, this is your culture.
You know, I have my parents help more than a lot of other people, but still not easy, you know. I don't want to stress you out on your first day here, but I'm thinking about it, you know. I want to share my feelings with you.
Now, Ari is the one in the relationship that handles the finances. Any money that BINI made, he handed it over to Ari. And she appreciated that he trusted her with the money. But now it's a big stressor for her because it's all on her shoulders. BINI said to Ari that she's brave, strong, and smart. They both can do many things, and he himself, he's very talented, and it's his dream to be an MMA fighter.
He believes anything is possible, and that's so wonderful. It's so lovely. But I've done the research, and most MMA fighters really don't make that much money. And a lot of the money that they make goes right back into their training again. If BINI wants to do this because he loves it, that's great. But to say that he wants to do this because he wants to support a family, like, that doesn't seem realistic to me.
Okay.
You want to see my town?
Oh, I love to just... Come on, we can change.
Okay, let me get you a date.
And he's loving what he sees because it is so different to what he's used to in Ethiopia. He sees that Ari is stressed about the finances and doesn't understand why she chose to live in Princeton when they can't afford it. But when he gets his green card, he will help her financially. It's the next day and little Avi is gonna stay at home with their grandparents while Ari takes BINI to New York City. BINI is really excited to see New York and Ari is super excited to show him around. BINI is in awe when they arrive. And he's getting goosebumps because he's so excited.
That's what you could. Oh, yeah. So, what is this?
A water fountain. You don't know what a water fountain is?
What does it mean?
For drinking.
I can drink it?
Yeah.
After sightseeing, they decided to head to a restaurant. Ari asked BINI, how does he feel about New York City? He said it's beautiful and he feels that they can start living there. Ari is like, well, you know, rent is very expensive. It is not cheap here. BINI figures that, hey, if the rent is expensive, then the salary will be more also. Ari kindly reminded him that they don't even have jobs yet. Ari is feeling like, hey BINI, you just got here. And she feels that he's not appreciative of what her parents have done, which is they got them a nice apartment and signed a 1-year lease for them.
Just calm down, listen.
I hate when you tell me to calm down. Like, that's the one thing I hate when you tell me to calm down. What I'm saying is serious. Like, it's...
I give you just an idea. It's not about you don't have to man.
I don't think you understand, like, it's so stressful thinking about, like, all the stuff we have to pay for, everything we have to do.
Now, Ari has spent most of her adult life overseas, so she's never had to rent an apartment or pay for a utility bill. They're both new to this way of life, and she feels like everything is all on her shoulders. Now, BINI doesn't want to argue and ruin the time that they're having. He just wants to enjoy. He said to her that he knows that she's feeling stressed, but he feels like she always wants to talk about the small things. Now, BINI, I think that was the wrong thing for you to say because Ari was like, small? And then she said to BINI, well, if you don't feel that these things are important, well then perhaps we should not be getting married. Oh boy. But that is everything between Ari and Biniyam. That concludes my recap. There was no Kobe and Emily this episode. We'll see them probably the next one. Overall, meh. I struggled to get through this episode, y'all. Like, with all the couples. You know I only recapped 4 of the couples to cut down on time. My videos are already long enough. But I struggled. I found myself just tuning out. And it's episode 6 and I'm still not getting into it. I don't know how y'all are feeling, but I cannot. For Jibri and Miona, well, Jibri, if you don't like mama's rules, you need to get up out of her house. Plain and simple. Get yourself a job and get yourself your own place. Hey, I do see online that some people are calling Mahala toxic though. So I'd like to know your thoughts on Mahala. Is she toxic or does she have a right to say what she said? As for even Mohamed, I see more problems ahead because she doesn't know what she should and shouldn't be doing. Again, maybe she should have done a little bit more research as to how things are or what. I don't know, but I just see problems. As for Ari and BINI, I feel like BINI might be a little bit in a la-la land, but at the same time, I do feel that he's probably gonna do what he has to do to help out with his family. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out between them. That's all that I have to say. Drop your thoughts on the episode and let me know what you thought about it. Are you like me and feeling blah about it? Or are you enjoying it? I'd love to see your comments. Pop them down below and hopefully I can pin one of them. If you enjoyed my recap, give me a thumbs up. I definitely like to see it. And subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit the red button. We have a good time up in the community tab. I make sure that y'all are entertained. And of course, you probably want to see more of my videos, right? I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. But subscribe. Thanks for watching, my beautiful peeps, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.